This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Monday, the 21st day of December in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Opposition leader Joe Harmon has called out the Private Sector Commission over its call for various staff members of the Elections Commission to be replaced before the country moves into preparations for local government elections next year. In a statement, the opposition leader described the Private Sector Commission's position as political posturing for favors from the incumbent regime.
The APNU EFC is not surprised, but is astonished that the Private Sector Commission is now openly advocating the PPP regime's position and calling for the removal of certain members of the staff of the Elections Commission, using the trumped-up charges against them as the pretext to get rid of them. This is wicked and unacceptable. The APNUFC condemns this type of political posturing by the Private Sector Commission.
While charges have been filed against a number of GCOM officers and officials in connection with alleged electoral fraud, none of the trials have started, and all of those charged have professed their innocence. Mr. Harmon said the rule of law must be followed.
It is opposite to remind the Private Sector Commission that the rule of law must prevail and that these persons are presumed as innocent until proven guilty. It must be stated also that the recount of votes cast at the 2nd of March 2020 elections revealed evidence of widespread fraud on the part of the PPP, and that the elections petition before the courts will reveal that the PPP were caught rigging those elections. In the circumstances, the courts should be allowed to do its job and let the law take its course. The Private Sector Commission should therefore restrain itself and stop acting as the mouthpiece of the PPP regime.
The opposition leader reminded the Private Sector Commission that an election petition is the way to deal with irregularities in an election. The PSC, he said, cannot and must not pronounce on the conduct of elections, since that should be left to the courts. Harmon accused the Private Sector Commission of acting like a puppet on a string for the PPP. Meanwhile, the Guyana Elections Commission today announced that the Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield is on accumulated leave that he applied for and was granted. In a statement, the Commission shot down a report in the state-owned Guyana Chronicle which claimed that Mr. Lowenfield was sent on leave by the GCOM chair. The Commission made it clear that Mr. Lowenfield's leave was owed to him and he was granted same and was not sent on any leave. More news coming up in a moment.
People we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
All the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Elite Fragrances and Tradings is your destination for the most luxurious deodorant, perfume, cologne, body spray, sunglasses, wallet, belt, spa, men hair products, and much more. Elite Fragrances and Tradings, 123 Regent Road border between Ornock Street and Shiv Chandapal Drive. You can contact us on 619-5151 or 227-1255. The perfect fragrance is the ultimate accessory.
I wanna be a Super 95 millionaire.
You can be a Super 95 millionaire this Christmas when you purchase $3,000 or more Super 95 fuel from Guyana service stations. Enter to win one of two first prizes of $1 million plus weekly cash prizes up to $500,000. That's not all. Each week until January 15, 2021, you can also have a chance to win smart TVs, tablets, shopping vouchers, and so much more. So hurry down to the nearest Guyana service station and spend $3,000 or more on Super 95 fuel, and you can be a Super 95 millionaire. See press for more details.
Ravinas and Water Street and Anans and Regent Street just received a new shipment of leatherette in over 16 colors. Leatherette can be used in a wide variety of applications, including covering speedboat seats, cargo, and keeping commuters dry. Ideal for minibus and car seats, leatherette can be custom made to your seating requirements. Leatherette is easy to clean and sanitize and a better choice during the COVID pandemic. For fast and comfortable shopping, visit us to get the best prices in town, Ravina's on Water Street and Anand's on Regent Street.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
I have many wishes for Christmas. A freshly painted home, a new vacation home, a new car, home furnishings, my dream wedding, new kitchen appliances, a new smart TV, a new phone for Zion, school fees too. Gosh, I still want this work from home office area. I just wish I could get some extra cash to clear my debts altogether. Do you feel the same? GBTI is granting 12 wishes for Christmas.
Welcome back. The Venezuelan government has rejected last Friday's ruling by the International Court of Justice, which established the court's jurisdiction to hear Guyana's case on the validity of the 1899 arbitral award, which settled the border dispute between Guyana and Venezuela. In a statement, Venezuelan Ministry of Foreign Affairs said Venezuela will continue with its claim. The Venezuelan government continues to reject the court's jurisdiction to hear the matter, declaring that the court is incapable of reaching a practical and satisfactory settlement. Venezuela believes the best way to address the problem is through friendly negotiations. The Venezuelan government said that by the court deciding that it possesses jurisdiction over the validity of the 1899 arbitration award based on Guyana's unilateral claim, it believes the ICJ commits an incomprehensible and unusual error, not only in terms of the consent not given by Venezuela to said jurisdiction, but by admitting an object, a dispute, rather than the substantial object of the dispute, as defined by the Geneva Agreement of 1966. The government of Venezuela also issued a call on Venezuelans to unite in face of the ruling, as the country maintains its claim over Guyana's Essequibo region. The International Court of Justice on Friday ruled that it has jurisdiction to entertain Guyana's case against Venezuela on the validity of the 1899 arbitral award, which outlined the land boundary between the two countries. By a majority of 12-4, the court established its jurisdiction in the matter that was taken before it in March of 2018 by the Guyana government. With the court establishing its jurisdiction in the matter, it will remain open to Venezuela presenting arguments before the court in the case. Venezuela has maintained that the court lacks jurisdiction, and while it did not make oral arguments in the hearing on jurisdiction, it filed documents to support its position. Well, in the wake of several countries blocking flights to and from the United Kingdom because of a new variant of the coronavirus there, the Guyana Post Office Corporation today announced that mails and packages to the UK will be affected. The GPOC said it was suspending all outgoing mail and package service to the UK with immediate effect, and the service will remain suspended until further notice. The local post office said it will continue to monitor the situation and provide timely updates to its customers. A number of countries have banned the travel to and from the UK. Guyana does not have direct flights between Georgetown and the United Kingdom. Regional carrier Caribbean Airlines today announced that it is currently in the process of developing a COVID-19 vaccine transportation plan to ensure its readiness to distribute the vaccine throughout the Caribbean. In a statement, the airline said it is currently consulting with stakeholders in advance of making preparations for the movement of the vaccine through the Caribbean. Caribbean Airlines Cargo offers expansive global and regional connectivity through its scheduled flights, charter flights, and interline arrangements. The statement said the carrier can facilitate the transport of temperature-controlled shipments to the Caribbean from several territories worldwide, including Europe, India, and the United States. The general manager for cargo and new business at Caribbean Airlines, Barclay Mosley, said the airline is steadfast in its commitment to serving the region, adding that its cargo operations continue to support the Caribbean, delivering critical cargo and ensuring the movement of goods into and out of the region. During the early phases of the coronavirus pandemic, Caribbean Airlines Cargo introduced a cargo charter service for Caribbean countries experiencing limited connectivity as a result of the grounding of passenger flights. Several persons from Essequibo remain in custody of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit tonight, following this weekend's bust of more than 185 pounds of marijuana that was smuggled from Venezuela. The bust was made at a house in Dartmouth on the Essequibo coast. The head of KANU, James Singh, said the seizure comes at a time when KANU has been widening its grasp all across the country, especially in the Berbice and Essequibo regions. He said KANU's main aim is to disrupt the drug smuggling routes, and the unit will no longer wait at known wharves and ports, but will go into the local communities and track down the traffickers. Charges against those arrested are expected before the end of this week. An Eccles family of 4 is trying to pick up the pieces after a morning fire completely gutted their home. Firemen were summoned to the Eccles East Bank Demerara property on Sunday morning as the fire spread throughout the house. The best efforts of the firemen were only good enough to contain the fire to the one building. The fire is suspected to have started in an electrical breaker box in one of the rooms of the house. It quickly spread to the other rooms. Family members estimate their losses to be in the millions of dollars, and they're trying to figure out where they'll go for the holiday season. The owner of the property lives abroad. Across the Region is coming up next.
Due to the impacts of the global pandemic, COVID-19, across our nation, essential organizations like us have chosen to adopt innovative approaches to meet the emerging needs of our customers while protecting our employees. Here are some quick tips to make managing your GPL bill easier while we practice social distancing. To register for electronic billing, you can use the e-billing tab on your website. To access your bill balance, you can use 4 options: the website live chat at gpl.net, the online inquiry on our website under billing, SMS Freedom by texting your GPL reference number to 624-0400 or 608-8400, or call our call center at 226-2600. A message from the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated.
I have many wishes for Christmas. A freshly painted home, a new vacation home, a new car, home furnishings, my dream wedding, new kitchen appliances, a new smart TV, a new phone for Zion, school fees too. Gosh, I still want this work from home office area. I just wish I could get some extra cash to clear my debts altogether. Do you feel the same? GBTI is granting 12 wishes for Christmas.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways. knowing that's what being a man is all about, and ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Been through it all.
But as a people we have
Weathered every storm.
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Across the region right now, the government of Jamaica has announced that with immediate effect, all flights from the United Kingdom will be banned for 2 weeks. According to a statement issued by the Ministry of Health, the ban will end on the 4th of January. The release said that the country is expecting 3 flights from the UK over the next 24 hours, one of which is en route. However, passengers who board those flights will be subjected to a minimum of 48 hours of state quarantine and PCR testing. According to the Ministry of Health, family members of people who arrive on those flights will be able to pick their relatives up after the 48-hour quarantine. The statement noted that people who arrive in the country from other ports of entry via the UK will also be required to adhere to all restrictions in line with provisions under the Quarantine Act. The move comes in light of a new strain of the coronavirus being detected in the United Kingdom. Chilean President Sebastián Piñera has been fined $3,500 for breaching coronavirus rules by posing for a selfie with no face mask on. The president apologized after the photo of him with a woman also without a mask went viral earlier this month. The Chilean president admitted that he should have worn a mask when the woman requested a photograph on a beach near his home. Chile has strict rules about wearing masks in public. Violations of mask law are punishable with penalties that include fines and even jail terms. Coronavirus cases are on the rise in Chile, which has seen among the highest number of cases and deaths related to the disease in Latin America. The country has recorded more than 500,000 infections and more than 16,000 deaths. And finally tonight, international news. EU officials are discussing a joint response to a new and more infectious COVID-19 variant in the UK, which has sparked travel bans by many countries. Canada and India joined European states in blocking flights from the UK, while Europe-bound train services via the Channel Tunnel have been halted. The new variant is said to be up to 70% more transmissible, but there is no evidence that it is more deadly. There is also no proof to suggest that it reacts differently to vaccines. 2 meetings were held on the issue today in Brussels, one involving health ministers and another with the EU's crisis response team. But no decision has been made on the way forward. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.